So I just wanted to jump on here and talk about what happens at a home birth. I get a lot of questions. What happened? Like, does your midwife bring scissors? What does she bring? So like step one on what happens during a home birth is usually you have your home kind of prepped. So your midwife will come by, depending on kind of how she does it, but our midwife came by with like a bin full of stuff and, you know, was like, okay, like put this somewhere where I can get it, you know, during your labor, and we're gonna use all these things. So she kind of like has the stuff that she kind of like brings, and then if you want the tub, she also brings that as well. So once she kind of brings all the prep box, which I was thinking of making a video of that as well, so leave a comment down below if you're interested in seeing that video. The next thing that happens is the labor. So you could be at your home, you could be anywhere, and then you all of a sudden feel this I'm in labor, so you go home, or if you're already home, you alert your support team, so like your husband, your mother, your mother-in-law, whoever's gonna be there, and of course you alert your midwife, and everybody comes over. Once everybody's there and your midwife is kind of, you know, checking in here and there, setting up her stuff, like all of her bags that she brings, you know, she might bring a laptop or a notebook, whatever. Our midwife brings her iPad and starts setting all that up to start taking her notes about what actually happens during the labor. As you're kind of like in the beginning of labor, your midwife will also kind of be setting up an area for you to like really deliver. So if you wanted the tub, she'll be blowing up the tub, putting water in. Of course, your husband or partner and support team will also be helping with that. And then her support team will also be coming. So maybe she might have like 1 or 2 people. My midwife had one person come as like her support team, and then I usually had 2 or 3 people as my like labor support team, and of course my husband. So then once your labor actually becomes really intense, this whole time you don't have an IV, you'll probably be drinking water. My midwife had me drinking water and moving around. The whole time you're just at home, wearing whatever you'd like, doing whatever you like, saying whatever you like, being as loud as you want because you're in your own home. I would definitely suggest alert the neighbors that you're having a home birth so that they don't call the authorities. But at this point, you could be like 6 to 8 centimeters, maybe even more, and you're still at your house laboring. Your midwife is still there. She's checking in. She's supporting you. Your husband's supporting you. Your whole support team is supporting you, and you're just going through the labor and the contractions and hoping that your baby is gonna come any second. Once you actually start pushing, that's when like everything starts getting intense, and your midwife and your support team start coming closer to you, and that's kind of when, you know, you're like, okay, like baby's gonna be here soon, and you still don't have an IV, you're still wearing whatever you'd like, you're in whatever position you would like. If you have the tub, obviously you can push in the tub or get out and push on your bed or on the floor or on the couch, wherever outside. I mean, it's not really ideally that you be outside during that point, but I guess if it happens, it happens. Once the baby is actually born, baby gets put directly on your chest. Obviously, this is like an angelic, sweet moment, and your midwife is obviously monitoring the baby, checking you to make sure everything's okay. But this is kind of like the time where, you know, you want that first breath and you see the baby turn nice and pink. And then once that happens, you know, like everybody's oohing and ahhing. The baby does that, you know, first look, and it's like surreal and beautiful. And, you know, the midwife kind of lets that moment happen. And so then your midwife will decide to cut the cord, and that is of course something fun that your husband can join in, or somebody else who's there depending on kind of your situation. Midwife then takes the baby and just kind of looks baby over to make sure everything's okay, and then dad or another support person will take the baby while midwife helps you deliver the placenta. So usually with the placenta, you want to get out of the water to have that delivered. So that's kind of like something that the midwife will help, and then monitors you from there to make sure you're not bleeding and that there's any complications. And kind of while this is happening, the support staff and dad are watching baby and making sure baby's okay. Once the placenta is out and that's all good, and you know there's no kind of like alarms going off and the midwife feels that, you know, everything's going smoothly. Baby can nurse and mom and baby get to like do some more bonding. It's just such a sweet moment. So most likely be in a very comfortable area. And again, there's no IV at this time. Support staff will bring you some water or something to eat usually after this to kind of get your blood sugar going. The midwife will also check to make sure baby is nursing okay and that baby's breathing fine. And while baby is learning to nurse and you guys are bonding, midwife and her support staff are cleaning up. And this whole time they're doing 15-minute checks on you and the baby just to make sure everything is completely okay. There's never a moment where you're by yourself. After that, your husband is supposed to watch you the whole night, make sure that you're by yourself. Even going up to the bathroom, husband has to get up and make sure that you're okay in case there's any bleeding or some type of complication. So the whole time during the home birth, you are constantly supported and constantly monitored, just not with machines. Your midwife is fully equipped to watch you and make sure that you and baby are safe. And also at some point, sometimes you can take a shower, sometimes not. Your midwife will know how to judge that. Once everything is fine, the midwife usually stays after the birth like 2 to 3 hours. I think for our second birth, she didn't stay as long, but obviously that was the second birth, so she didn't really need to stay as long. If there was any complication, we would have gone straight to the hospital, or she would have stayed longer, or whatever was needed, she would have taken care of that. And then once she leaves, you get to go to sleep in your bed with your husband or partner and your baby. And she visits you the next day to make sure everything's going smoothly. And that's pretty much it. It's really simple. My midwife also does newborn checks, so she can do like the first kind of month of newborn care. So I don't even have to go to the hospital to have my baby checked out right after it's born. She can do all that and then forwards it to the pediatrician. It's really great. It was 100% just awesome. So I hope that if you're interested in home birth, you definitely keep looking into it. And if you have any questions, please let me know. I hope you enjoyed this video, and please give it a like and please subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll see you in my next video. Thanks. Bye.